This video contains subject matter that may be offensive and disturbing to some people. If you are the type to require a warning throughout a video or show, let this message serve as your warning. This channel discusses the harsh reality of true crime. If this warning is not sufficient for you, consider a different genre and unsubscribe from my channel immediately.
You know, that's just one step above stupid. Have you lost the last 3 brain cells, or do you just have cabbage for brains? 5 brain cells, 4 aren't working. There's mosquitoes the size of bald eagles in that dadgum swamp. Come on, man. What's wrong with you?
Well, looks like the sound effects aren't working again. At least, well, some of them are, not the ones associated with voice mod. Hello, everyone. Hello. Sleepy. I think I'm supposed to be like more like that. There you go. A little better. Yeah, Cindy, I haven't seen you with the day freaks too often lately. What's going on, Cindy J? You've bailed on your day freaks. Okay, so I figured tonight we'd do the we kind of rushed through the probable cause the first time just because it was kind of like part of the whole thing and all kinds of different stuff going on. I've also been working on a video with the Carlee Russelll, just sort of a literal like an animation of the route and everything. Just to have out there. The one other, the YouTuber that always puts out a bunch of garbage, he went out there and, it was sort of interesting because you can go down, like where her car is by, well, it wasn't really near that sign, but like when you go down there, there's a tunnel that goes underneath the freeway back to the other side. So, anyways. Now it goes all the way to the other side of the freeway, and then there's sort of like this little place where water could run that you could walk on this time of year on the same side. Yep, she got fired. Yeah. Well, but I think she got fired a while ago. Because remember, that was part of the rumors. I bet you anything, once they saw her on camera, removing, taking out the, there's money missing, and the, what was it, dark robe, and what was the other thing in there? I can't remember. Well, there goes my stomach. Yeah, they probably fired her right then. So that was all true. That stuff that people were saying, all those little rumor comments that people made, I think they're pretty much all true. Yeah, that's right. Toilet paper for days. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So thank you before the show to Mag and Dobby Smith. Thank you very much. Like I say, on all the shows on this show, the freaks generously support the channel every single night, and that allows me to make an income and at the end of the month donate over 50% of the net revenue to various true crime charities, including our DNA fund, which is very, I don't know, that's the thing that feels the best, I think. Or you feel like it's tangible to us. So, going in trials, but I can't watch it again. You made some good calls, but Yeah, the judge in there, it's just such a weird courtroom. The attorneys can sit down, ask their questions. He has them all the witnesses stand around and he talks to them. I don't know, it's just strange. It doesn't seem normal to me. Welcome, Poison Sushi. Poison Sushi? I like sushi. Jeez. Alright, here, I'm going to show you guys an update on the, on so far what we got going on in the, for the remodel thing. You know, so there's a door here that's going to, this big door back, we're going to have another door inside of there. These two doors go back in there as well, but, you know, currently it looks like we got that. And then when you open the door, see, look, it looks so much better in there now. I mean, look at it, it's like a, it's crazy. So there's going to be a door right there, and then my office is back there. And then that's going back into the area. There's the bathroom. I mean, a toilet right there and a sink to the left of it. And then here's the full room back there. And then there's this little cove in the corner. This is where the Ethernet cable and cable for like Wi-Fi comes out up in here. And that's sort of looking back out. And that's looking back out, back outside where they built that little deck to be walking out there. So that's kind of where we're at right now. Pretty cool.
Hey,
the laundry room's right there. Thanks, Ali79. Look at that, it's Dana Dane. I've emailed you like, where the hell are you? Look at that, Dana Dane is here. Feels like old times now. You know? She's sort of like the bellwether, you know? Hey, EDM Summer. It's going to look pretty cool. I'm trying to figure out what color paint I should put in there, though. I think like anything like a gray blue would be kind of cool. Almost a little bit like this looks right here, sort of. Like that would be on the walls, kind of a true crimey kind of. I've also thought of kind of a, I don't know, sort of a reddish, not really red, but oh yeah. I mean, when I said gray blue earlier, I was thinking, hey, that's blue and me, you know. But yeah, I think that would be sort of cool, wouldn't it? And then I don't know, something else for the bathroom and the laundry room, I guess. So, all right. Well, there you go, everybody. Yeah, I mean, see, there's going to be a stacked washer and dryer here. Maybe put a table there, and that'll be cool. I mean, it's just simple, you know. Stacked washer and dryer. You could probably put a table here and over here. It is. What's cool is you guys have seen it since the beginning when it was just cement on the ground, and you know, it's got another, I don't know, probably another month to go or something like that, but you know, it's gonna get there. All the finishing work, got to put the siding on the side of the house, different siding than it was, and you know, it's a long process. Now we've been waiting years. I've been saving up for a long time, like probably 3-4 years or so, just trying to. There was a YouTuber once, or not a YouTuber, but one of the freaks that was saying, "Oh yeah, I'll buy you the whole thing." I was like, I don't think so. Yeah, got to do it yourself. I was like, what are you talking about? Yeah, let's see. Emily Flotilla, Payne Gray. Payne's Gray. Oh, Payne's Gray. I don't know what that is. For your supply and And thanks, Annabelle, still. I'm sure I'll bring him in there. You know. Just for the stream or something. Thank you, Michelle Blake. Alright, let's get going on this. Nah, I'm just going to start over again. I think there's a spot where you can start. Yeah, I think right here's a good place to do it. You guys ready? So I am going to be reading. You know what that means, everybody? It means this for the super chats. It goes mwah, 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 mwah. Alright. Alright, but anyways, here we go. On December 11th, 2010, police officer John Malia was conducting a training exercise with his canine partner Blue, ironically, along Ocean Parkway in Gilgo Beach, Suffolk County, New York. During the course of the training exercise, Blue located a set of human remains. The remains were later identified as those of Melissa Bartholomew. 2 days later, on December 13th, 2010, SCPD continued to search in proximity to where the remains of Melissa Bartholomew were recovered. On that date, members of the SCPD found 3 additional sets of human remains within 1/4 mile of the first discovery. See image below. These 3 additional sets of remains were... Well, thank you, Renee. And they were identified as those of Maureen Barnes, Megan Waterman, and Amber Costello. The cause of death of all 4 women was determined to be homicidal violence. And the weird part is, it's just off the screen here, there's a Asian male that was dressed up as a female, which was equivalent
Don't
to...
say it often enough, but thank you, Ray, for all the best
It was just right there. And I have it on my map too. Let me go right here. And these are the exact spots. GPS coordinates and everything. So Costello, Bartholomew, Barnes, Waterman. Then the Asian male's right there. So for me, I would just have to say that that's related to these. I'd have a hard time thinking, especially since we'll see later in the document that he looks up something about Asian, like something like sex worker or something like that. I can't remember exactly the phrase, but we'll see that later. The investigations into these deaths were linked as, in addition to other factors, the victims each appeared to have been placed in close proximity to one another, 22 to 33 feet from the edge of the parkway. Thank you, Tammy Morrell. Well, they kind of did. They did find the body while looking for Shannon. It was sort of like that's what led them to do the training out there. You know, it's like, let me train my dog and let's see if we can find something by starting farther up the road.
I thought the story was that they found the bodies while looking for Shannon.
Well, it was looking. I think what the guy did was he just brought his dog miles up the road, just for training exercises, and then to also be looking at the same time. To train the dog, but it was just kind of outside where they had normally searched. All were petite females, approximately 22 to 27 years old, believed to be working as sex workers. They're all like 5 feet or let's just say like 5'1" or shorter. I mean, most of them are 4 foot something. All had missing clothing and personal possessions. All had been killed by homicide. All had contact shortly before their disappearance with a person using a burner cell phone. And by the way, everybody, they are saying now that they think all these victims here were killed in the house. And who said that on the first show that we were doing? You know, it's like, well, the wife's missing, or out of town on all 4 occasions. So that means he's doing it at his house. Doesn't that make sense? Because why would it matter otherwise? He could just go take somebody somewhere, come home, and, make something up. Well, it's not, Janet. A lot of people didn't think that, so. Yeah. So anyways, you could think that he took him somewhere else and killed him and dumped him, and just because his wife was out of town, that's when, that's just when he would do it, just so he could be out all night or whatever the hell he wanted to do. Yeah, well, obviously whatever he was using to tie them up was in the house. And yeah, if he got the girls in there and put them on a bed or something, that's crazy. Working as sex workers, all had missing clothing and personal possessions. All had been killed by homicide. All had contact shortly before their disappearance with a person using a burner cell phone. So they were all talked to by somebody with a burner cell phone just prior, without associated verified identity, and the cell phones of 2 of the 4 victims. Let me see. Let me read that again. All had missing clothing and personal possessions. All had been killed by homicide. All had contact shortly before their disappearance with a person using a burner cell phone. And then, for example, cell phones without associated verified identity, and the cell phones of 2 of the 4 victims. Okay, so, I thought you just said up here that all of them were contacted. Although the defendant is not yet charged with any crimes in the disappearance and murder of Miss Brene Barnes, as set forth below, defendant Rex A. Heuermann is the prime suspect in her death. There is substantial evidence of defendant Heuermann's involvement in the disappearance and death of Miss Brene Barnes, which evidence closely fits the modus operandi of the defendant in relation to the deaths of the other 3 women, and which supports the current charges. As such, this bail application contains descriptions of that evidence. So this whole thing is just a bail application.
I'm just here for the coming mockingly with Gray. Comment from Gray himself at some point tonight. Smiley face. It's my favorite.
All right. Is that a compliment? I'm having a hard time. But Gray, that one. Then you got to put "but" or it wouldn't. So let's go down here. Barnes and Bartholomew. Let's see. Let me see. Okay, Costello. So it's these 3 right here. I don't know why they just don't throw Costello into the mix there. It's so obvious. Which is interesting because she went missing in 2007. So what was he doing in between 2007 and 2009 and 10? In January 2022, the Suffolk County District Attorney's Office assigned... let me turn down this music a little bit. A little loud. Assigned an experienced team of investigators, analysts, and prosecutors to work jointly with law enforcement partners from the Suffolk County Police Department, New York State Police, Suffolk County Sheriff's Office, and Federal Bureau of Investigation. A comprehensive review of every item of evidence and information in this investigation was undertaken by the team. On March 14, 2022, approximately 2 months into the renewed joint investigation, this comprehensive review led to the discovery of a first-generation Chevrolet Avalanche that was registered to defendant Rex A. Heuermann at the time of these murders. As described below, this was significant because a witness to the disappearance of Amber Costello identified a first-generation Chevrolet Avalanche as the vehicle believed to have been driven by the killer. So I wonder I originally thought that it was because of Costello, they looked for that type of a vehicle in the area, and his name was one of the people that owned one of those because of the phone calls. Remember how the phone calls led back to the area? So maybe they looked up in a grid who has this type of vehicle in the area, and his name would have been one of them. And if they didn't do that, how ridiculous. I don't know what you're saying, Janet. Let's see. Find all avalanches in the area. Look for... Yeah, I just said that, yeah. A comprehensive review of every item of evidence and information in the investigation was undertaken by the team on March 14, 2022, approximately 2 months into the renewed joint investigation. Just like Delphi, how they did a reset and boom, there's an answer. This is when they discovered the Chevrolet belonging to Rex Heuermann. As described below, this was significant because a witness to the disappearance of Amber Costello identified a first-generation Chevrolet Avalanche. Hey, thank you, Don. This discovery led to a comprehensive investigation of defendant Heuermann, which consisted of over 300 subpoenas.
Happy Friday, everyone.
Happy Friday to you. A discovery led to the comprehensive investigation of defendant Heuermann, which consisted of over 300 subpoenas, search warrants, and other legal processes to obtain evidence. As discussed more fully below, among the items uncovered were cell phone billing records for defendant Heuermann corresponding to cell site locations for the burner cell phones used to arrange meetings with 3 of the 4 victims, the taunting calls made to a relative of Miss Bartholomew, a call made by detectives to Miss Bartholomew's cell phone.
Chevy Avalanche off Rex's brother's SC property a couple of days ago.
Yeah, we talked about that last night. Thank you, Tammy. The burner cell phones used arrange meetings with 3 of the 4 victims. What's this part down there? A call made by a detective to Miss Bartholomew's cell phone while looking into her disappearance, and calls checking voicemail on Miss Brene Barnes' cell phone. God, what are they saying here? Led to the comprehensive... As discussed more fully below, among the items uncovered were cell phone billing records for defendant Heuermann corresponding to cell site locations for... Oh, okay, interesting. So his location on his billing records matched the same location that Brene, God, I can't say her name. Barnes. Man, say that fast, you guys. Brainard Barnes. Man, that's just impossible. Brainard Barnes. That means when her phone was called by the detective, it pinged corresponding to the location where Heuermann was. I mean, consistent with. You know how that works. I mean, at least it's after her disappearance. In addition, Heuermann lived in Massapequa Park, where the victims were believed to have disappeared from, and he worked in Midtown Manhattan in the vicinity where the taunting calls were made to the sister of Miss Bartholomew. As set forth more fully below, defendant Rex A. Heuermann is believed to be the person who used the burner cell phones to communicate with each of the 4 victims prior to their disappearance, and who used Miss Brainard Barnes' cell phone and Miss Bartholomew's cell phone. I'm just going to say Barnes from now on, after their deaths. Both defendant Heuermann and these burner cell phones had significant connections to both Midtown Manhattan and Massapequa Park, New York. The disappearance and murder of Maureen Barnes. Maureen Barnes was last seen on July 9th, 2007. No, really? So she's 2007 also. Or maybe she was 2007 and Costello was later. Thank you, Stephen Bug Killer 1.
Ray, have a Snickers just in case you get locked up tonight.
I'm going to get locked up, Steven. I'm going to get locked up. Thank you. I'm going to need to get locked up. Alright. So I like that they have like a synopsis or like a more of a summary is what I meant to say of each of the victims and their history and everything. At the time, she was believed to be working as a sex worker. So she was last seen on July 9th, 2007. I wonder, maybe I can fill this in. So these are when they were found, but let's see. Last seen July 9th, 2007. Sex worker. I'm going to put this in the... There's like a description below it that you can... And then this one would be found. Alright, then if you click on it, you can see last seen July 9th, 2007, sex worker. Between July 6th and 2007 and July 9th, there were 16 interactions between this burner phone, so there's this burner phone out there with an unknown person, and Barnes' cell phone. They communicated 16 times. On July 9th, 2007, the last cell site location for Barnes' cell phone was approximately 11:56 p.m. in Midtown Manhattan near the 59th Street Bridge. So let's go do that. Hey, thanks. Ben Hills. So it's probably over here. Let's just say... hold on a second. All right. So this is Barnes and her last Barnes last ping was 11:56 59th Street Bridge. Alright, there you go. Could do a flyby in New York. It's crazy. Thanks, Just Junie. Alright, so that was 11:56 in Midtown Manhattan. Thereafter, Barnes' cell phone had no further activity until July 12th. On July 12th, 2007, 3 days after her disappearance, more like 4, but 2 outbound calls were made from Barnes' cell phone, checking her voicemail from a cell site location near the Long Island Expressway in Islandia. Where the hell is that? Oops. Okay. So that's Islandia. What's the, is this the Long Island Expressway? I mean, what are they talking about here? Why would you be way over there? Near the Long Island Expressway. What's that look like? Let me put a pin in Islandia over here. And then Long Island Expressway. Oh, so that makes sense then. So right around in here. On July 12th, 3 days after disappearance, 2 outbound calls were made from Barnes' cell phone, checking your voicemail from a cell site location near Long Island Expressway in Islandia. So, Barnes, 2 outgoing phone calls. On, well, let's actually put a date. July 12th, right? Oops. It's 2007. And now I'm just going to put, I'm going to say Heuermann did that. I'm just going to say he checks her phone. I mean, that's him. So, thanks, Ben Hills. 10 months strong. And watching for 4 years. Very cool, very cool. Good evening. Good evening, Nick T. Alright, so this is how we're going to do it. Just get everything dialed in on this thing. 3 days after disappearance, 2 outbound calls were made from the phone on that expressway. Now we're on to Bartholomew here. Melissa Bartholomew was last seen on July 10th, 2009, in New York City. So, I mean, I guess we could just... I mean... probably just over here somewhere. We don't know exactly. I'm just going to put a random pin in here. So this is 2009, 07, 10, Bartholomew. Actually, that wasn't the date. That was supposed to be... yeah, last seen 7/10. Okay. And so she was last seen in the town there, but then it says on July 3rd, 2009, Miss Bartholomew was contacted by a burner cell phone again. See? Thereafter, the Bartholomew cell phone was contacted by this burner cell phone on July 6th, July 9th, and July 10th, 2009. Which was the last day she was seen alive. On July 10, 2009, cell site records indicate the burner cell phone traveled from Massapequa Park to Midtown Manhattan. Oh, the burner cell phone. Okay, yeah, so let's see. I'll just put another pin here. So, 2009, 07, 10, burner phone from Massapequa Park to Midtown Manhattan. Wow, that's crazy. Man, that just, see this, guess what that does right there? See, that means that he was going to pick up at that point Bartholomew, because remember we just said that her phone was right here. Okay, so let me move this over a little bit. I'll just say she was right over here. Okay, so then Heuermann, whose burner phone was at his house over here, right over here. That's not, is that the one? I think I put the pin in the wrong place. Sorry. That was his old 1990. All right, you guys, we're getting that slow feeling again tonight. Let's see. So we got the 2009 07. Yeah. So right there, his phone is, the burner phone is turned on, and he's calling Bartholomew. And Bartholomew's in Manhattan right here. And she got calls from the same burner phone. You see how that just works? I mean, it's crazy. So that's, and, you know, Massapequa is the place where Rex Heuermann lives. Oh, why am I going to jail, Terry? What'd I do? What'd I do? I must have done something. I got thrown in prison. Thanks, Ozzy Trisha. Still got nothing. That's your whole name. Ozzy Trisha still got nothing. That's funny. Just for good measure, Terry?
Chewbacca?
Oh.
I'll be Chewbacca if you want me to.
Appreciate you always great.
I'm sure I'll be thrown in there for something. Yeah, it's like getting spanked for good measure. I'm sure you did something today. Yeah. Good. Yeah. I know it's Massapequa. I'm just can say it however I feel like it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna call it Massapequa, just to bug the hell out of you, Barbara. There's always that one sort of, what do you call it? Like OCD person that just absolutely has to have you say everything correctly. I do the same thing when people say Oregon, though, so I guess that's true. You always do, LM. Nail file. I'm not even in jail yet, Cindy. Man, I guess I should put myself in there then, because that way I've got the nail file. I've got the... we've already got, like, Ben Hill... who said that before? Was it Ben Hillis? Oh, no, Stephen Bugkiller. He gave me a Snickers. So I guess we could use Texas Annie for some sort of bail there. And Cindy got me a nail file to get the hell out of here. It's going to take a while to file out of here, I can tell you that. So that was interesting. I didn't even catch that the first time we read it, because we were just going quickly through it. That Bartholomew's phone is in Midtown Manhattan, and she gets calls from her burner phone that originate in Massapequa, and then that phone is traveling to Midtown Manhattan to go pick up the sex worker. Well, I got some ramen from Alley Cake. And what did Gene Darcy get me? With a rock chisel. That's not too bad, Teresa. Not too bad. I think it might work. I ate some... Guess what, everybody? I ate some Cheez-Its today. I just... all the talk of Cheez-Its made me think of them. And boy, are those good. No wonder she got Cheeze-Its. You know what? As a matter of fact, I forgive her for this whole thing because it was really about the Cheeze-Its. You get it? Like she was, man, they're not letting me eat Cheeze-Its at home, but I'm going to go over there and get these Cheeze-Its. And I mean, she even mentioned it later when she was getting her massage with the Cheeze-Its. Thanks, dreaming of blue skies, sandy beaches. Where are we at now? Are we out of? I don't think we don't have bail yet. These are just meals and bail. Appreciate the mods and freaks as well. Well, there you go. That's probably good. I think we should just write letters and say, listen, we've all done crazy things for Cheez-Its. Yeah. Hey, thanks everybody. Let me get back to here. Oh yeah, Reese's Pieces. I just like regular Reese's peanut butter cups. They're right, I mean, Snickers and Reese's are right there. But if I had to have something with me for nutritional value of the two, I would get a Snickers. I'm not sure what health item is inside of a Reese's peanut butter cup. Well, great, they're filled with protein. You know, like peanut butter when people eat them. Okay, yep. Yeah, that'd be a good sign, Renee. On the side of the road, just have a little sign that says, "We'll eat for Cheez-Its." Yeah. Will work, I mean.
I'll be
I don't know what I
back
said.
if you want me to.
Might have said, "We'll
Fail.
eat."
Appreciate the mods and freaks as well. Heart.
Yep. There's other ones that taste good, but you can eat Snickers and Reese's peanut butter cups all day. But you can't eat like a Heath bar all day, right? You know, it just sort of doesn't work. Or a Butterfingers or any of the other things. But you could eat 97 minutes. You know what I love about Halloween? Is you can have 60 small pieces of Snickers and still feel like you're doing okay. Well, it was just a small one. Yeah, that was just a small one. Oh, that was just a small one too. Yeah, that was a small one too. 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 And you just keep eating them, just like those miniature Reese's peanut butter cups that come in a little foil. You eat like 1,000 of those things. Even though after you ate 1,000, it was like eating 19 full, 8 peanut butter cup candy containers. You know what I'm talking about. And Mag, I'm sure, would absolutely do the same thing. Halloween's sort of the, it's just Halloween, you know. Thanks, Wendy Peppercorn. Oh, those are pretty good, those thin ones. Now, Reese's Pie, man, that'd be... oh. What I actually do sometimes is I'll buy one of those and I just throw the rest away. And then later I'm fishing them out of the garbage. No, I'm just kidding. But like I just throw them, I just throw it away. What I do is I take the wrappers, the things off, and I just throw them in the garbage, squirt ketchup on them, do something where I'm not tempted to eat the damn thing. They're too good. And I know some of you have done something similar to that, right? Be honest. I kind of like that icon you got there, Meow. Yeah. Alright, guys, I'm going to get back to this now. Thanks for bailing me out of prison. Alright, so on July 10, 2009, cell site records indicate the burner cell phone traveled from Massapequa Park to Midtown Manhattan. Later that evening, Bartholomew's cell phone traveled... Oh, listen to how perfect this is. Rex is in Massapequa. and is communicating with Bartholomew in Midtown Manhattan. Then a burner phone travels, Rex's burner phone, I'm just going to call it that, travels from Massapequa to Midtown Manhattan, and then her phone, it says, later that evening, Bartholomew's cell phone traveled from Midtown Manhattan to Massapequa. Wow, so that's added basically to his house. With the last site location being in Massapequa on July 11th, 2009 at approximately 1:43 a.m. on July 11th. Oh wait, so then
Flotilla is a beautiful, kind-hearted lady. Just wanted her to know. Heart.
She is. Emily Flotilla never illa. Okay, then it went... Okay, so that was on the 10th. I said it down there. To Manhattan to pick up Bartholomew. Yeah. Then Bartholomew's phone pings. I'm just going to put it right here. And this is on 2009 07/11. Bartholomew phone pings in Massapequa. Man, that's pretty damning right there. Later that evening, Bartholomew's cell phone traveled from Midtown Manhattan to Massapequa, with the last site location being in Massapequa. Uh-oh.
Please check your internet connection and try again.
Oh, that's right. I gotta sign you back in. Can you shut up, Alexis? Alexa, whatever the hell your name is. Alexa, quit talking. You're mean. On July 11, 2009, Miss Bartholomew's cell phone was used to make an outbound call checking your voicemail from a cell site location in Freeport. Was used to make an outbound call. So this is later in the day. So it's 1:43 a.m. Let me put that time on there. This is 1:43 a.m. Man, this is crazy. Oh man, this is starting to make more sense. Was used to make an outbound call checking your voicemail from a cell site location in Freeport. How much you want to bet that's on the way to where her body was dumped? I would just bet money on it. Might not be, but let's see. I don't even know where it is. I bet it's going to go down to the south and... Well, we'll see. It should go down to the south. Yep. Oh boy, here we go. You know what's interesting is Freeport is a place where he had another location in 1990. So near Freeport, is that where he took... the quickest way is down there, but right here you can still go down... Well, there's no way from here to there, though. So... Not sure what the deal is there, but let's see. So this is 2009, 07, 11. Bartholomew phone calls voicemail. Are you guys finding this interesting at all? On July 11th and July 12th, 2009, the Bartholomew phone made 2 more outbound calls, checking her voicemail from cell site locations in Babylon. Okay, well, there's North Babylon. In Babylon, okay. So somewhere around in here. Oh, these are the taunting calls. Checking your phone made 2 more outbound calls, checking your voicemail from cell site locations in Babylon. So that was on 2009, 07, 11 to 12, 2 outbound calls. Wait, let's see. That was voicemail. Two voicemail checks. Okay, and then it says the Bartholomew phone made 2 more outbound calls, checking your voicemail from cell site locations in Babylon. So that was on July 11th, 12th. On July 17th and 23rd, August 5th, August 19th, and August 26th, 2009, Bartholomew's phone made taunting phone calls to Mrs. Bartholomew's family members, some of which resulted in a conversation between the caller, who was male and a relative of Melissa, I think it's the sister, in which the male caller admitted killing and sexually assaulting Miss Bartholomew. As described below, the cell site locations of Bartholomew's phone during these taunting calls were all in Midtown Manhattan. Alright, so let me...
Ocean wave, ocean wave.
Manhattan's over here, though, you know. So Bartholomew started there. Okay, so Heuermann works down here anyways. Yeah. Wow, that's crazy. That's, so let's see, right here. Five taunting calls on Bartholomew's, let's see, calls using 5 taunting calls from down here. 5 calls were made using Bartholomew's phone on, let's see, July 17th. July 23rd, August 5th, August 19th, and August 26th, 2009. And then, let's see, some of which resulted in conversations with sister. Doesn't say that, but all right, there we go. Chewbacca. All right, hold on. I'll be back in just a second. Alright. Ugh. I'm finding this more interesting the second time around. Haven't we always realized that? The Bartholomew phone made taunting phone calls to Miss Bartholomew's family members, some of which resulted in a conversation between the caller, who was a male and a relative of Melissa Bartholomew. So here's what's going on here, though. Those 5 calls, that's Heuermann using her phone, just standing randomly around downtown. He can feel totally safe because it's not his phone. There's no way to track him. They would just have a general area. Thanks, Maury A. I think we should watch Angie Dodge case or something creepy. Like, I'm not sure what that means, but yeah. Thanks. Yeah, we're doing another case currently, but maybe after that one's over.
I think we should watch Angie Dodge case, or something creepy like the Night Stalker, smiley face.
Yeah. Yeah, so he basically is downtown calling using Bartholomew's phone and taunting her family members. Okay, now we're going to Megan Waterman here. Megan Waterman was last seen alive at the Holiday Inn in Pahked, New York. So I think we've already got that one. I didn't spell it right. Yeah, so I think the Holiday Inn right there. Yeah, so that's where Waterman was right here. Waterman Holiday Inn. And this is, let me put a date here now. This is 2010. 06. And that's when she's last seen. Now, we've seen the video too. At approximately, and it was 1:30 a.m. So let me put that in there. One 30 a.m. I'm going to move this part down here. Maybe I will put Waterman up there. You have to reorganize these things. Huh? Let's see. What are you guys talking about? Yeah, and we can. That's 7-3. Yeah, but let's just try to focus in on this because it, you know, we're fixing a grilled cheese. Hey, good for you. Right, that's what I'm saying. It just goes on and on and on. Yeah. Let's see. Hope that situation goes well for you, though. All right. Following that communication, okay, let me go back. At that time, she was believed to be working as a sex worker. Again, on June 5th, 2010, Miss Waterman's cell phone was contacted by another burner cell phone which had just been activated that day. Thereafter, the Waterman phone communicated with the burner cell phone on June 6, 2010 at approximately 1:31 a.m. That's crazy. That's 1 minute after she's seen walking out of that building. Isn't that amazing? Like 1 minute after she walks out of the Holiday Inn, her phone contacts the burner phone. And it says it right there, which is around the time Megan Waterman was captured on video surveillance exiting the Holiday Inn. Like, hey, where are you? For the last time. Following that communication, the burner cell phone had no further phone activity. However, cell site records show that Waterman's phone traveled to Massapequa Park, with the last cell site location being Massapequa Park at approximately 3:11 a.m. in the vicinity of the residence. Jesus. Yeah. So that even proves it even more.
Apparently he kept their cell phones as trophies. Hope the police find the phones.
So I'm just going to put right here that makes Tammy around. Yeah, whatever he did with the phones. He might have just tossed them, though, because he might have been paranoid that they might be pinged where he was. So he would turn them off and then use them somewhere else, but never have them on when he was at his house. I think that's interesting. Because I think that Waterman was still alive at 3:11 a.m. Let's see. So it's on June 5th. Miss Waterman's cell phone was contacted by another burner phone. But it was sick. What's the? Yeah, let me just put the date here. So it's going to be 2010 06 06 131. No, that's not that one. That's 3:11 a.m. Waterman phone pings. Yep. And then where is the? I'm going to do 131 here also. So that's when she exits. 1:31 a.m. Waterman exits. And then at 1:31, that was 1:30. And 1:31, Waterman phone is contacted by burner phone. (2010 06 06 1:31 a.m. There you go. 1:31 a.m. Waterman's phone is contacted by burner phone. Alright, what does it say? What order is that? It just communicated with. We don't know which order it was, but wow. So she's on that video. When we see her on that video, literally 1 minute later, she is talking to the person. Probably, hey, where's your car? You know, maybe it's parked over here or whatever. Then she walks over there. Wait, when is this? We have September 2009 here. That would have been, well, let's see. That's 2010 though. Hold on. September 2010. Just a little late. I always think it'd be so cool to randomly get lucky, because it actually gives you the exact dates in here. We've had a couple lucky moments before. Remember that one case where the kid is doing construction tearing out a swimming pool with a crane in his backyard, and he stumbles upon his mom's body. And we actually, on Google Earth, you see them doing, I mean, it's right there. Like the swimming pool's been taken out, and they're right in the middle of doing that. So that was pretty interesting. Okay. Let me see some of these other ones. So, June, what was the one before? Let me scroll up here a little bit. See if we get lucky. July 11, 2009. There's September, and then it's 2008. What about the 2007 one? Wow. Oh, man. This is crazy. So the July 7th one is, it's only, God, look how close that is. She was last seen on July 9th, and this is July 4th, 2007. This is literally 5 days off. Like, if you just got lucky, you might be able to see something during the day, somebody doing something, but it's all at night anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, so here it is. The burner cell phone had no further phone activity. However, cell site records show that Waterman's phone traveled to Massapequa Park, with the last cell site location being in Massapequa Park at approximately 3:11 a.m. in the vicinity of the residence of defendant Heuermann. Amber Costello is the next one. Was last seen alive on September 2nd. Ooh. Now we do have a September one. Hold on. What year? 2010, right? I saw that a minute ago. Ah, it's September 19th. Ah. But you know, it'd be interesting though. September 19th. So couldn't you come over here on September 19th and like zoom in and see if there's any disturbed? What was her name? Amber Costello. Yeah, isn't that nuts, you guys? In this picture right here, she's right there. I mean, she's in this, like, I don't, you know, we don't know what we're looking at here, but this is September of 2010 on September 19th, and she went missing on September 2nd. So that means this is only 2 weeks later, this satellite image right here. I always think that kind of stuff is weird. Can't see anything, but man, how crazy. And you guys, if you'd like to help support the Gray Hughes Investigates YouTube channel, it would help out tremendously. Thank you very much. You know what it goes for and what good it does. And I don't have to keep explaining it 1,000 times. Yeah, if he does not plead guilty, it will be a very complex trial for guilt. Now, it won't be hard to find him guilty. It'll be very simple to get guilty on him. I always think it's funny when people think that. Like, you know, it's like they struggle with the understanding of a case, so then they think like, oh yeah, there's no way. This guy is toast, okay? I think he might plead guilty, though, just to avoid having to go to trial. Yeah, it's just so obvious here. So it says, Amber Costello was last seen alive on September 2nd, 2010, leaving her residence at 1112 American Avenue. Did we do that one? Let's see. 1112 American Avenue, West Babylon. That's interesting because he liked to drive by West Babylon over there. So that's her home. Yep, West Babylon. So that's Amber Costello's home. The only one that we have. America Avenue, West Babylon. Should we check it out? I think there's pictures of that. Amber Costello was last seen alive on September 2nd, 2010, leaving her residence. Last seen alive on 2010, 09, 02, leaving residence. At that time, she was believed to be working as a sex worker. On September 1st, 2010, the day prior to the disappearance of Amber Costello, Miss Costello's cell phone was contacted by a burner cell phone. On September 1st, 2010, this burner cell phone had communicated with Costello's phone at approximately 11:33 p.m. and 11:34 p.m. This is on 2010. So it must have been early morning hours of... Thank you, Claudia Neubauer. During those communications, the burner cell phone connected to cell site towers in West Amityville and Massapequa Park. Okay, so did she call on September 1st? This burner cell phone had communicated with the Costello phone at 11:33. Oh, she was probably at home. During those communications, the burner cell phone. Okay, so the burner cell phone. Let's see, how do we do this? Amityville, as in Amityville Horror. Amityville. Okay, that's near his house there. Thank you, dream of blue skies and sandy beaches. Let's see, so the phone call was 11:33 p.m. and 11:34 p.m. And the two locations are coming up here. So it's that one, and then Massapequa where he lives, so right here. This is Costello King.
Chewbacca?
11.
I'll be Chewbacca.
That's probably 11:34.
What do you think?
No, probably
Out of all
11:33.
the out-of-state locations he's been tied to, where do you think it's most likely they'll find another victim? My guess is Vegas.
Yeah, maybe Vegas. You know what's weird is I actually, when I was on Ben Verified, he has a connection to a property here in like Boston over here, or you know, wherever the hell that was. Yeah, Massachusetts here, north of Boston. So, you know, who knows? Maybe he's got something up there too. Maybe he's the Boston Strangler. Thanks, Maury A. Alright, let's see. So I think that one was the one that it was 11:33, And this is the other one. He's probably going to yeah. So I think he's heading to her house. This is what's going on here. See, this is 11:33, right? And he drives down the street, and about, a minute later or so, he's near Amityville here. And I think this phone call here is the one at 11:34. 11:34 p.m. Not 11:33. Right, and then he's heading to her house up here. That's what I'm guessing here. Did I mark that good enough? No, I didn't. Burner contacts Costello. And this is different than what I wrote there. It's Costello contacted by burner. 11:33 p.m. Okay, now let's get back to this. So then it was 11:33, 11:30. During these communications, the burner cell phone connected to cell site towers in West Amityville and Massapequa Park. Thereafter, the burner cell phone traveled to West. Boom, there it is, right there. I knew that's what was going. To West Babylon, in proximity to the residence of Amber Costello, and had contact with Costello's phone at approximately 12:05. On September 2nd, 2010. Where was that though? Okay, so maybe that was right when... Yeah, he probably was able to get to her house, probably right outside of her house. I'm going to put that right here. Wait, is that it? 1112. Yeah, it's right there. So then I'm going to put another pin here and say that he called. So this is on early morning hours of 2010, 09, 02. Burner at, no, this is at 12:05 a.m. Burner contacts Costello. Hey, I'm outside. Right? Doesn't that sound like what we're doing here? I mean, this is so much. I mean, it's so weird because now it's even more damning. This whole thing. Now, how do you know that's him? Well, all the other evidence, his wife's hair. So let's just keep going through this. "12:05 a.m. on September 2nd, 2010. According to witnesses, around the time of these communications between the burner cell phone and Costello's phone on September 1st and 2nd, 2010, a prostitution client showed up at Mrs. Costello's residence, and this is Rex Heuermann, located in West Babylon, New York. After the client entered the home, so he calls at 12:05, hey, I'm outside. After the client entered the home, a ruse was executed on the client, whereby a person pretending to be the outraged boyfriend of Amber Costello and the client left the residence. And the client left the residence. So an outraged boyfriend, oh my God, what are you doing? And then he leaves. The client leaves. While Amber Costello retained the money. So she got the money first, then the angry boyfriend comes in as a ruse, and then she gets to keep the money, and the John takes off. And the John in this case turns out to be Rex Heuermann. Based upon interviews, that client was described as a large white male, approximately 6'4" to 6'6". That's not too common in height. In his mid-40s, which is exactly what he was, with dark, bushy hair and big oval-style 1970s-style eyeglasses. A witness described him to police as appearing like an ogre. It's a pretty good description, gotta be honest. Furthermore, a witness noticed a first-generation Chevrolet Avalanche parked in the driveway of the residence. According to the witness, following the ruse, this client said he was just her friend. So when the boyfriend came in, he goes, "Hey, no, I'm just a friend. Tell her, though, I'll give her a call later. Thanks, American lady. Tell her I'll give her a call," and walked out the front door. Thereafter, at approximately 1:18 a.m. on September 2nd, after the ruse had been perpetrated, so let's see, 1:18, so just a little bit later, an hour and 13 minutes after the call, like I'm here. Yeah, so I got to put that in there. So approximately 1:18 a.m. on September 2nd, after the ruse had been perpetrated, the burner cell phone sent a text message to Costello's phone which stated, "That was not nice." So I'll put it right here. And where was the burner cell phone though? The burner phone was located in Massapequa. Oh, Jesus. Okay, I'm going to put... I knew it. (2010-09-02) at 1:18 a.m. Costello a.m. Costello gets text. Okay. Then 2022, or not 2022, 2010 at 09:02 at, again, he's the one that sent it, so 1:18 p.m. burner text Costello, and then what he said was, "That was not nice, so do I probably get credit for next time?" With a question mark. Thanks, Marlene. Doom, 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 doom. Phone records show that the burner phone was located in Massapequa Park within 2 minutes of this message being sent. So he was basically home when this message was sent. According to a witness, later the next day on September 2nd, 2010, Miss Costello was again contacted by the same client that was in the house the night before with the avalanche. So this is later in the same, he comes back the same day as the early morning text, but like at night though, right? Costello was again contacted by the same client that was in the house the night before with the avalanche. Further, Amber told us that he wanted to see her again, but he didn't want to come back to the house because of her boyfriend. What's weird though is, why did she set up this ruse in the first place if the next day she's just going to go see him anyways? That's weird. Like she could get more money, but she just owes him from the last one? That's just strange, He might have said something like, "I'll tell you what, I'll give you a couple extra $100 if you, Really weird. No, I know, but she already had the money, right? So she was going to owe him. Do I get a freebie, he said? Do you remember that? So then she's going to go see him anyways. So maybe he spiced it up a little bit and said, "I tell you what, I'll give you I'll give you an extra 200 or whatever." I don't know what the original price was, but further, Amber told us that he wanted to see her again, but he didn't want to come back to the house. So Amber Costello told, the people that live at the house or roommates or whatever. Thereafter, on September 2nd, 2010, now we're in the evening, at approximately 9:32 p.m., the same burner phone from the previous evening and early morning hours, really, again communicated with Costello's phone. During this communication, the burner cell phone used a cell site location in Midtown Manhattan. Now he's back down to Midtown Manhattan again. So this is on 2010, 09, 02, 9:32 p.m. Burner phone contacts Costello. During this communication, the burner cell phone used a cell site location in Midtown Manhattan. Following this communication, and based upon the cell site records, the burner cell phone traveled to Massapequa Park and had contacts with Costello's phone at 10:39. So he's contacting her for the first time. Maybe he's still downtown from work or something like that. Then he travels back to his property over here. Hey, Cali Gal 3. That's very kind of you. Thank you very much. Boy, am I late. Naughty Cali Gal. Oh, yeah. Hey, and by the way, Gummo, I'm sorry you're going through what you're going through. It's just one of those things, like maybe like at the end of the show we could all talk about it or something, or because it's just, gets really complicated in here. So you know what I'm saying? Yeah, this is crazy. So 9:32 p.m. the same burner cell phone from the previous evening again communicated with Costello's phone. Then it traveled to Massapequa Park and had contact with Costello's phone at 10:30. So now we got to put more down here. Right? Let's see. Let's do more here. So we've got 2010, 09, 02. So he drove home here. And this is at 10:39 and 11:05 p.m. Burner contacts Costello. There you go. Yeah, it's not really a happy ship, but if you need to. Anyway, yeah, so the 10:39 and 11:05 p.m. burner contacts Costello. Man, isn't this just crazy this time? You know what I mean? It's like way more, like it just sort of, now it's kind of ringing in. That's why you got to read these things like 3 or 4 times. During this communication, the burner cell phone used a cell site located in Midtown Manhattan. Following this communication, and based upon the cell site records, the burner cell phone traveled to Massapequa Park and had contacts with the Costello phone at approximately 10:39 and 11:05 p.m. Cell site records for the burner phone. I bet you his phone moves to West Babylon. How much you want to bet? Cell site records from the burner phone indicate that at approximately 11:17, the phone traveled to West Babylon. There you go. Yeah. All right. So, anyways, the burner phone traveled That's a different one. It's right here. $2010. Gotta do it again. 2010. 09. 02. 11. 17 p.m. Burner phone travels to West Babylon. That's how I'm spelling it. I know it's Babylon, is how you say it. The phone traveled to West Babylon in proximity of the residence of Amber Costello. Subsequently, Amber Costello left her own cell phone behind. Man, that is so not good. Walked out the front door of the residence and was seen alive for the last time. Wow. So right after that, and then so we can just say Amber
Blue heart.
2010, 09, 02, after 11, 17, Amber leaves house, never seen again. Her death is sort of like Libby's camera, if you're going to make a comparison. Hey, thanks, Cheryl. Do I need to go give Blue a snack? Let's see. Yeah, there you go. There you go. You got some food. Yeah, this guy could be an incredibly prolific serial killer. They just happened to stumble upon one of his mass grave sites. Okay. So anyways, it was the cell site records for the burner phone indicate that at approximately 11:17 p.m. the phone traveled to West Babylon and, right near Amber Costello's residence. Subsequently, Amber Costello left her cell phone behind, walked out the front door of the residence, and was seen alive for the last time. Shortly after Miss Costello left the house, a witness observed a dark-colored truck pass the house, specifically coming from the direction Amber had walked towards. Let's see. Dark-colored truck passed the house. Oh, so, God, I wonder. Like he said, meet me somewhere, but not at the house, because he's probably like, maybe he believed the boyfriend story. So he probably had her meet him right here. And so he drives by the house and picks her up right there. So she walks this way, and then he comes by, and then he picks her up. This might be a good one to do the same kind of videos that I make, driving around, Be really time consuming for sure. I probably would just use like a little sphere to represent the ball though. I mean the car, Maybe Rex didn't plan on killing. Oh, yeah. Amber at first, and that's why he showed up at her house, then decided to kill her after she pulled the ruse on him. Yeah, I think you're right on that, Well. She wasn't going to be one of his victims, it was just because he would see sex workers, but every once in a while he'd kill them. But obviously if he was at that house, it wouldn't have worked. But he insisted the ones that he killed were ones that would go and he could take to where he wanted to take them. Thanks, Marlene. What's a frosty paw? I don't know what that is. It's a sex workers are what you call prostitutes. They used to be called that, but you know, sort of the. What's a sex worker? What do you mean?
Maybe Rex didn't plan on killing Amber at first, and that's why he showed up at her house, then decided to kill her after she pulled the ruse on him. Just a thought. The credit text was very ominous.
Yeah, I think that once he got her away, I mean, he would have killed her, but it could have just been like that night he was just going to have sex with the sex worker at her place. I mean, some of them are escorts, you know. Sex workers is what I was actually. Who was it? It was I can't remember her name. She said that's what they're called now. So I went, okay. Well, I don't really care. That's what they do for a living, I guess, is what it means. I don't think it's, you know, saying hooker is kind of, you know, I don't know. Sounds kind of ridiculous at this point. Prostitute, you know, I don't think there's a really a big deal calling them that. But. Well, you didn't offend anybody. I'm sort of old myself. Somebody explained to me, and it made sense. So it doesn't bother me to say sex worker. You know, it's the other things that I can't stand, trying to change really basic things that everybody says to appease somebody, you know.
Thanks for all you done.
Thank you. C map. See? C map. Look at the map. C map. So anyways, his truck passes the house. I bet you anything he passed the house going in this direction, met her here, and then took her all the way back home. I bet you if there's any more on this, it'll say that his phone pinged again back in where he lives. Maybe. Let's see. Records established that defendant Heuermann's wife was out of New York for the disappearance of Bartholomew, Waterman, and Costello. See. Significantly, travel records show that on July 8th in 2009, defendant Heuermann's wife departed the United States for Iceland. Man. So that's when he was like, he's going to do it. On August 18th, 2009, defendant Heuermann's wife returned to the United States. Consequently, defendant Heuermann's wife was out of the country during the time of Melissa Bartholomew's disappearance. Based upon cellular telephone billing records, on June 4th, 2010, the cellular telephone subscribed to by defendant Heuermann's wife traveled from New York to Maryland. On June 8th, 2010, the cellular telephone subscribed by defendant Heuermann's wife returned to New York. This would be good to make one of those sort of like charts where you have the bar graphs of when who was around. And because they're not escorts. Yeah. There's a difference. Escorts and sex work, like prostitutes, or you know, as they were once called, are not the same thing. I mean, I guess there's overlapping, but who cares? God, who gives a shit, you guys? Can we just, you know, that's so irrelevant to the story. It's just weird. Now just think about it for a second. you're debating on some meaningless term. We know what we're talking about, right? Yeah. I don't know why anybody's confused here. This is really simple. Sure, escort. Let's call them escorts then, okay? Will that make everybody happy? Well, Jesus. You walked into a normal show, but people, I was just called, sex workers is the more current term for, what used to be called prostitutes. Escorts are still called escorts, but I don't know if there's a there is a difference, it seems like, but, all of them, though, are generally selling sexual favors for money, right? Well, that's not true, Gray. I heard of this. Okay. Based upon telephone, let me see if how I could mark this in here, though. 2008. I mean, I'll just have to do this later. Let me just highlight this part here. Screw it. So, based upon cellular telephone billing records, on August 28, 2010, the cell telephone subscribed to by defendant Heuermann's wife traveled from New York to New Jersey. On September 5, 2010, the cellular telephone subscribed to by his wife returned to New York from New Jersey. Consequently, the cellular phone subscribed to by defendant Heuermann's wife was out of New York state during the time of Amber Costello's disappearance. During the times of the disappearances and murders of the victims, defendant Heuermann's owned an architectural business located in Midtown Manhattan, and this business was named was the named subscriber of Heuermann's cell phone, which was active during the time of the victims' disappearances and subscribed to Heuermann's home address in Massapequa Park. Although cell site records from that time period no longer exist, investigators obtained cellular billing records which showed general location information for Heuermann's cell phone. A review of these records, as well as Heuermann's American Express records, showed numerous instances where Heuermann was located in the same general location as the burner cell phones used to contact victims Bartholomew, Waterman, and Costello. So that's pretty interesting. It's not as anywhere near as precise as ping information, but if he's using a credit card or whatever, and then he's in an area, and then he uses Bartholomew's phone, then you can kind of place him in that area at that time. And also, apparently, the billing records have location information. Where the phone was located when the call was made, and then where it was picked up. Well, I think the first victim they would think is out of this group was probably Bartholomew. I think she was, or was it Barnes? I think Barnes might have been 2007. Yeah. So I think Barnes is the one there. For example, on July 10th, hey, thanks, Steve. That's such a great name. Look at that, it's just Steve. It's like having just Bill as a name. Thank you. It's so awesome. We got all these complex names that everybody puts on there. And his just says Steve. Yeah, I think that made me laugh the most. Is my parents lived in La Center, Washington. They had a neighbor with a dog, a wiener dog, and its name was Bill. That's just hilarious to me. Nothing. There's nothing creative about it whatsoever at all. They just named the dog Bill. Thanks, Steve. Yeah. He said, keep them going. All right. On July 14, 2009, at approximately 7:15 p.m., cell site records indicate the burner phone used to contact Miss Bartholomew prior to her disappearance had activity in Manhattan. On this same date, between 6:58 and 7:22, so the burner phone is right between here, billing records from Heuermann's cell phone also showed call locations in New York City. So, wow, that's pretty interesting. So he was calling using his regular phone, and he was in New York City, but then his burner phone called her at 7:15, and I think she was in Manhattan as well. Following Miss Bartholomew's disappearance on July 17, 2009 at 12:40 p.m., a male caller used the Bartholomew phone to contact Miss Bartholomew's family. The Bartholomew phone was located in New York City. So her phone, when he was calling all of the different, 5 different times, it was in New York City, specifically attached to a cellular tower located at, now we can put that in, at 4 Penn Plaza. Oh, this will be cool. And then I can move that pin over to that spot. Here we go. Yeah, there's 4. Okay. Is that what it is? What's 4 Penn Plaza? 4 Penn Plaza. You think that's it? Penn Station, maybe? Well, hell, he had a location right there at one point, too. There it is. Property. Let's see. 5 taunting. Probably like right around in there. And that's right next to a pin that he had. I don't think that's where his office was, though. I think his office is right here. But I can't remember why I have that one. Which is approximately 2,370 feet from Heuermann's then office space. Let's see how close it is. Let me measure it. Oh, then office space. Oh, is that, maybe that is what that is then. So maybe at that point he lived. Yeah, I'm not able to use that. So you guys know if that's where 4 Penn Place is? Plaza, I mean. 4 Penn Plaza. Okay, that's a different one. Yeah, so that's it right there. So I guess if it's, let's just say it's on that side. How many feet is that? That's 842. They said it was 2,372. Well, then that makes this seem more likely there. So if we took that and went to here, up, and there, that is 3,011. They said 2,372. So maybe because it's cell tower, they're measuring as a crow flies. So let's try that again. Go from right here. Feet. 2,276. Oh, that's right at the number. Oh, hold on. Let me go from the center of that building. Watch this. Right there is 2,363. You know what the actual number is? 2,372. I'm off by 5 feet. So that means that is what they're talking about right there. How cool is that? Is anybody paying attention? Or I don't see any comments related to what we're looking at right now. Zero. Jesus, I didn't think so, Basby. Jesus, man, you guys are... Anyways, this 4 Penn Station, they said it was 2,372 feet to his then office space. So you go like that, and it goes literally within 5 feet of that right there. Which at the time was located at, let's see, 17 West 36. Maybe it's a different spot than that. Wouldn't that be weird? Hold on, let's see. Huh? 19 West 36th Street. Yeah, that's the one. It's right there. Yeah. Okay, so that makes sense. It just shows that we have the right spot where the phone pinged. I bet you maybe there's even a cell tower on top of that. On the same date at approximately 1:45 p.m. So it's what are we talking about here? Approximately 12:40 p.m. a male caller used Bartholomew's phone to contact Miss Bartholomew's family. The Bartholomew phone was located in New York City at this time, specifically attached to a cellular tower at 4 Penn Plaza. At the time was located at that address. On the same date at 1:45 p.m., billing records from Heuermann's phone also show a call location in New York City. Yeah, I guess they have that right there, 2,372. On July 22nd, 2009, at 6:51 p.m., cell site records indicate the burner cell phone had activity in New York City, specifically attached to a cellular tower located at 19 West 34th Street. Did I put the time on that one? What date was that one? Now those are all those 5 different times. Huh, that's crazy. Okay, so that's right near his office, which is approximately 870 feet or 0.16 miles from defendant Heuermann, then office space, which at the time was located at 19 West 36th Avenue. On the same date at approximately 5:12 p.m., billing records from Heuermann's cell phone listed a call located in New York City. So the burner phone was right here. Okay, I see what you're saying. This is 2009, 07, 22, burner phone. So it shows you that these burner phones associated with all 4 of these women. Look at where this phone pinged right next to his office, and that's the same phone that was associated with one of the girls. This is a 2009 burner phone pings tower at 5. Let's see, at 6:51 p.m. And then also later during that same day at 5:12, Heuermann's phone, it shows that he was in New York City. A burner phone pinged right next to his home, or his work, I mean. So the burner phone pinged right next to his work. Him using his own phone showed that he was in New York City that day. So it puts him in the location, and then the probability now that, wow, it also pinged right next to his office here, the burner phone. See? So you could say that, and why don't they say what tower or whatever that pinged off of, does it? Let's see. 6:51, outgoing call to duration like 0.08 minutes. And that's the 19, yeah, so that tower. Oh, interesting. So it actually gives you the angle that it was in. Is this backwards? Oh, I see. So it's pinging from right there. But it's interesting how, if that's where it was, the angle of the cell tower, it would be blocking. I mean, that means he's over here when his office is over there. Huh. I gotta try to figure that out. What does that mean? Seems like it would be more facing that way, but because see, this is one of those the cell towers that's got 3 of these same pie wedges, 120 apiece. But it looks like they have it. I don't know if this is just a representation, but that means he's inside of this area. But his office space, I think, is up here. Now I'll have to figure that out later. On July 23rd, 2009, at approximately 1:39 p.m., cell site records indicate that the burner cell phone had activity in New York City, specifically attached to a cell tower located at 19 West 34th Street, which is approximately 870 feet from Heuermann's then office space. On that date, at approximately 12:48 p.m., billing records from Heuermann's cell phone listed a call located in New York City, or in New York, New York. Excuse me. So he actually called using his phone. He's in New York City. And that call was at 12:48 p.m. on July 23rd. On July 23rd, these are the 5 phone calls I believe they're going over from Bartholomew's phone, because he's matched the date here. Let's go back up here again. Hold on. I think that's what we're doing here. Let's verify that. Yeah. July 17th, July 23rd. So when was that first one up here? Following Miss Bartholomew's disappearance on July 17th, at approximately 12:40 p.m., a male caller used Bartholomew's phone. That's right. At that time it was located, and then we moved down to here on July 22nd. So that's interesting. Indicate the burner cell phone had activity in New York City, specifically attached to a cell tower. Okay, so now what they're doing is connecting his burner phone, Bartholomew's phone, and his cell phone together. Right? Because they're not even mentioning Bartholomew's phone here. But then down here, see, this is August 5th. That's another one of the dates right here. See? August 5th, right here. Let's see what this one says. On August 5th, 2009, between approximately 6:50 p.m. and 7:15 p.m., a male caller used Bartholomew's phone to contact Miss Bartholomew's family. During this time period, the Bartholomew phone utilized the following cellular phone towers in New York City, which are 2,230, 3,280 feet from Heuermann's then office space. On this same date, during a similar time frame, between 6:46 and 7:05, Heuermann's cell phone listed billing locations in New York City. So he is in New York City at this time, and again, Bartholomew's phone there. So it's consistent with him being near her phone in New York City.
I don't think Order Heuermann Munster throws anything away. I bet they find the trophy phones.
Yeah, probably. And so here's the 85, 85, 85. These are different calls he made on 85. Yeah, 18 minutes. So whose phones were those? Let's see. August, between 6:50 and 7:11, a male caller used the Bartholomew phone to contact Miss Bartholomew's family. The Bartholomew phone utilized... So these are outgoing calls. Four Penn Plaza. These are where it pinged, I think. 4 Penn Plaza, 408. Yeah, that's what these are right here. All these different addresses. 0.4262. So maybe he was just walking around or something. I don't know what he was doing. But this is when he's calling Bartholomew's phone. And then on August 10th, based upon subpoenaed travel documents, Heuermann departed for Iceland. So he must be back before the 19th, because that's when his next call is made. Oh, and there it is. He departed for Iceland, and all phone activity for the Bartholomew phone stopped. On August 18th, the day before the 19th, 2009, Heuermann returned from Iceland, and phone activity for the Bartholomew phone resumed the very next day. What are the odds? See, that's just showing you, this is like the most incredibly powerful circumstantial evidence you could ever imagine. You know, like, it was consistently calling and doing stuff, and then he goes to Iceland, and the second he gets back, boom, he's using the phone again. On August 19th, 2009, at approximately 7:23 p.m., a male caller used Bartholomew's phone to contact Miss Bartholomew's family. Cell site records indicate that Bartholomew's phone was located in New York City. So that means one of his victims' phone was in New York City when he was using her phone to call the family. Specifically attached to a cell tower located at 249 West 36. So maybe we can do this one. 2009, August 19th. 249 West 36. It's going to be right around in here anyways, yep. And this is... Yeah, this is awesome. Yeah. 2009. Oh wait, 19. 7:23 p.m. Let's see. Bartholomew. Phone. Contacts. Family. Cell site records indicate that Bartholomew's phone was located in New York City at this time, specifically attached to cell tower at 249 36th Street, which is 2,831 feet, or 0.53. I think that's what this whole thing is right here. Yeah, right there. These are all the towers that, when he was making phone calls to Bartholomew's family, they pinged off it. West 36th Street, and let's see, 0.53 miles from Heuermann's then office space. On this same date, before and after the call to Bartholomew's family at approximately 7:16 p.m. and 7:28 p.m., billing records from Heuermann's cell phone list calls located in New York City. So look at this, 7:23, he's using her cell phone. Hey, thank you. Carlee Gal 3. So it's 7:23. He's using Bartholomew's phone to basically troll and harass and terrorize the family. And then guess what? His own phone was pinging in New York at 7:16 and 7:28. Billing records from Heuermann's cell phone list calls located in New York City. So he used his own phone like right before and right after that. I mean, how crazy. Hey, what are we having for dinner, honey? Oh, that'd be great. And then he calls, gets on the phone. Hey, I'm a psycho. I killed your family. Yeah. Hey, is dinner almost ready? Okay, we'll be there in a minute. And then there's another one, though. So the other one is on August 26th. So they're going over all 5 of these phone calls here. On August 26, 2009, between 11:29 a.m. and 11:34 a.m., a male caller used Bartholomew's phone to contact Miss Bartholomew's family yet again. According to cell site records, the Bartholomew phone was located in New York City. So her phone again was turned on in New York City, and those calls were made. Specifically attached to cellular tower at 4 Penn Plaza, which is approximately 2,230 feet or 0.42 miles from Heuermann's then office space. On this same date at 11:38, so look at this again, 11:29, 11:34, the calls are made. Then just 4 minutes later, billing records for Heuermann's cell phone list a call location in New York City. So he's walking around with her phone in his pocket and his phone in his pocket. Is that crazy? And he's making these calls. Additional burner phone and outline account activity linked to defendant Heuermann. As described herein, over the course of the comprehensive investigation of defendant Heuermann investigators located a number of online accounts and burner cell phones linked to defendant Heuermann, but which were held by him in fictitious names used for illicit activities. American Express records obtained via subpoena revealed reoccurring Google Pay payments made by defendant Heuermann to Tinder, an online dating and geosocial networking application used to find, quote, dates or hookups, meaning you're looking for a sex worker, usually on there, within a user's immediate vicinity. It's basically shit, I can't remember what's the name of the thing. What the hell is the name of it? I forgot what they're called. What's the name of a ride-sharing program? Why can't I remember one of them? It's just not popping into my head. Uber. There you go. I just thought of it myself. Yep, and Quinn typed it in on your end before I said it, but I said it before anybody typed it. You're just 30 seconds behind. I just remembered. So basically, Tinder's like Uber. You know, you're looking for a hookup in your immediate area. Records were then obtained from Tinder, which revealed that Tinder profile was set up in the name Andy Heuermann. His middle name is Andy, with links to burner cell phone 347-885-1697. So, Rex Andrew Heuermann has a burner phone used to that is connected to the Tinder account, which he likely used to contact. Although Tinder is more recent, though, isn't it? I mean, Tinder wasn't around in 2010. But it shows that he uses burner phones, I guess, with links to a burner cell phone 347-885-1697, subscribed in the fictitious name of Andrew Roberts, using an email account of Springfield Man 9, because there's a Springfield Man 8 and a 7 and so forth. The Springfield Man 9 AOL.com account was established with AOL in January 15, 2011. That's a long time ago. In the fictitious name John Springfield, with an Astoria, Queens, New York zip code, using another burner cell phone of 347-304-2671, which records show has no has no named subscriber. Records obtained from Verizon show that defendant Heuermann's cell phone was used on December 11, 2022 for a period of over 3 hours to access the fictitious... So let's see. Records obtained from Verizon show that defendant Heuermann's cell phone, his own phone, was used on December 11, 2022, so 7 or 8 months ago, for a period of over 3 hours to access the fictitious Springfield Man 9 AOL account. Similarly, so what they're showing there is that the burner phone associated with that account is him because he got into the account. Similarly, records obtained from T-Mobile show that burner cell phone 347-304-2671 was used on multiple dates, including, well, I guess they mean actual dates, not dates, like, was used on multiple, probably use them on dates as well, right? Including November 8th, 2022, to access this account. A review of call records for these two additional burner cell phones revealed that both cell phones were used extensively between 2021. Man, it makes you wonder if he's got victims around this time period, Tinder date goes missing type of thing. For prostitution-related contacts, either with sex workers or massage parlors. In addition, cell site warrants for these burner cell phones revealed that just like the burner cell phones, defendant Heuermann used Heuermann used to contact the victims prior to their disappearance. These additional burner cell phones had frequent cell site activity in Midtown Manhattan and Massapequa Park. Wow, isn't that crazy? I mean, it makes sense because he works in New York and he lives in Massapequa Park, but it's probably, I bet the pings were similar in nature, the same towers and that kind of thing. Specifically, the records revealed that both these burner cell phones consistently had activity on the cellular towers that provided coverage to defendant Heuermann's residence in Massapequa Park and his business, just like I just said. See, there you go. Legal process served on Google seeking records or accounts associated with the device. Identifiers of these additional burner cell phones revealed a connection to yet another burner junk email account. Another burner or junk email account, namely Thok, as in Thok. You can't say Thok without sounding like you're saying something else. So, I think it's probably something like thawk or thawk080672 at gmail.com. Hereinafter, the Thawk email account. Google records further indicated that the Thawk email account was subscribed in the fictitious name Thomas Hawk. So it does mean T-Hawk. A search warrant revealed that the T-Hawk email account associated with all those times I said Thawk and I didn't need to. It was T-Hawk, for God's sakes. What the hell are we doing in here? A search warrant revealed that the T-Hawk email account associated with the burner cell phone, the one that was mentioned earlier, the newer one, was used to conduct thousands of searches related to sex workers, sadistic torture, related pornography, and child pornography, including, and I'll just read the ones that I want to read. Mistress, Long Island. Mature Escorts, Manhattan. This one, you can read it yourself. Why would you say that? Pretty girl with bruised face porn. What kind of a stupid ass? Who the hell would type that in? That's so specific. It's almost like, God, when I was punching my victim in the face, she had a bruise, and I'd like to relive that. Isn't that exactly what's going on here? He gets his victim, and he beat them, and he remembers that, and he wants to relive it. Who would think, oh yeah, I want a pretty girl with bruised face, It's so specific that I guarantee, I would bet you a ton of money that one right there is him trying to relive when he was beating and killing his victims right there. And then look at this, torture redhead porn. Oh yeah, there you go. Probably one of your victims again. God, I wonder if he did this to somebody. What the hell are you doing, man? Kind of a... Look at this shit right here. Are you kidding me? Skinny redhead tied up. Short fat girl tied up. Tied up and... Yeah, let's see. So this one right here, though. Asian... I guess twink tied up porn is, what is it, like an Asian transgender? Is that what that is? Does anybody know what this is right here? I forgot what you guys said the other night. Which is interesting because, when you go out and we scroll back out here a little bit, everybody, and we zoom in, like I said before, I guarantee it that this Asian male right here is one of Heuermann's victims. And guess what? This wasn't just an Asian male here. This was an Asian male that was dressed in female clothing. And now, doesn't that give you a hell of a lot more meaning when you read this right here? Isn't that weird? See, this guy's he's a pedophile too. I mean, God, he must have met somebody that looked just like... Well, look at how specific that one is right there, you guys. Really? With blonde hair, and, like... Huh. I mean, this is a sick mind that types in this kind of stuff. Old janitors... Oh, God. Why do you say janitors? Like, what made you say that? You could probably really get somebody that know the real type of people that can figure out what in the hell somebody's thinking about when they're saying these things. The T-Hawk email account was also used to conduct in excess of 200 searches, so the other phone, between March 2022 and June 2023, related to active and known serial killers. The specific disappearances and murders of Maureen Barnes and Melissa Bartholomew, Megan Waterman and Amber Costello, and the investigation into their murders. Sort of interesting that he only, he brought those up, But what about some of the other ones that were found there? Maybe it was because they didn't have names, and he doesn't know their names, but he knows these 4 have been identified. What do you guys think of that? See, the Asian male still hasn't been identified, and some of the other victims at the time of these searches, I don't know if they were identified either. Oh, really? Well, there you go, David. So that's exactly his type, isn't it? Why could, which is such a weird sentence, why could law enforcement not trace the calls made by the Long Island serial killer? Like, how did I get away with this? Why hasn't the Long Island serial killer been caught? Wonder why you typed that in the... Why couldn't... You know why. You did it exactly how you did it. You used only your phone when you were in town, and then you used a burner phone. Why hasn't the Long Island serial killer been caught? Long Island killer. Long Island serial killer phone call. Tell me more about my call. Long Island serial killer update. Long Island serial killer update 2022. FBI active serial killers. Serial killers by state. Map of all known serial killers. Unsolved serial killer cases. American 5 most notorious old cases. 11 currently active serial killers. Where's mine? I want my name list. I want to be listed. The Long Island serial killer. 11 currently active serial... 8 terrifying active serial killers. Maybe I can find it if I type it in the right way. John Bitroff. Now, some people think, like, because he was sort of in the area and so forth, and he knew there was somebody that knew, like, one of his... I don't know if it was him or one of his victims knew one of the other victims. Megan Waterman, Melissa Bartholomew, Maureen Brainard Barnes, redacted name of relative. So that now he's looking up the that's an interesting one because he typed in the sister's name of Maureen. Cops launch Gilgo Beach homicide investigation task force. Mapping the Long Island murder victims. Well, watch the show. Inside the Long Island serial killer in Gilgo Beach. The Gilgo... Maybe I bet you when he typed that in, he got my video on YouTube. The one where I have each of the spots on there. In Long Island serial killer investigation, new phone technology may be key to breaking the case. The T-Hawk email account was also used to search for a number of podcasts, documentaries regarding this investigation, as well as repeatedly viewing hundreds of images depicting the murdered victims and members of their immediate families. Significantly, defendant Heuermann also searched for and viewed articles concerning the very task force that was investigating him. And by the way, guys, we're almost at the normal goal for this tonight. So we got 795 people here. If you'd like to help support the Gray Hughes Investigates YouTube channel, that allows me to keep doing these shows every single night. And then we also kick ass at the end of each month by... well, just check it out. Come here on the 31st and see what goes on here. We've already given away $1,000 to Black and Missing in honor of the of what they do, despite Carlee Russelll. Okay, and by the way, hit that subscribe button, would you? Well, we don't know how long he was inactive, because all we know about it are these cases. He might have a whole bunch more. A search warrant conducted on the fictitious Springfield Man 9 AOL account further revealed a selfie photographs that appeared to have been taken by defendant Rex Heuermann of himself and sent to other persons to solicit and arrange for sexual activity. Man, I think if I got a picture like this and I was a woman, I would immediately think serial killer. Well, maybe this one over here. This one specifically. Defendant Rex A. Heuermann was further linked to the burner phone 347-304-2671 because, thank you, Middleman Joe 59. Because on May 19th, 2023, hey, that's my mom's birthday, and I was with, we saw them on her birthday this year. Heuermann was observed by law enforcement via video and field surveillance at a cell phone store in Midtown Manhattan and purchased additional minutes, which were added to this burner cell phone. Well, you're busted. But I'm not sure what this burner cell phone has to do with the other ones. And there he is walking in to buy some minutes for his burner phone. He's probably looking at this guy. Wow, are you a serial killer too? Wonder why they didn't put something around that guy's face. And there he is. What a weird picture. Literally handing cash. So he didn't want to use his debit card either. Isn't that interesting? So he's using cash to put minutes on his phone. And this guy must be going, man, this guy's up to some serious shit here. Analysis of the Springfield Man 9 AOL account also led to the discovery of another email account, hunter1903a3@gmail.com, used on February 14, 2021, to send an image of a prostitute from upstate New York between two of Heuermann's secret email accounts. Further investigation revealed that the Hunter 1903A3 Google account was created on February 14, 2021, using burner phone 347-885-1697 as the user's phone number and SMS recovery number, and subscribed in the fictitious name Andy Roberts. The same fake name linked to the target Tinder profile and burner cell phone. Now there you go, see? And burner cell phone 347-885-1697, as well as the same alias utilized by defendant Heuermann in communications with numerous potential sex partners responding to his advertisements for sex. And the fictitious birthday, I think what they're showing is like, okay, this is him on Tinder having sex with sex workers and prostitutes, whatever you want to call them, right? And what's interesting about that is that just sort of shows that this is him. That back then, it's like, all the circumstantial evidence here points right to it. Communication with numerous potential sex partners, and his fictitious birthday of August 6, 1972, which corresponds to the digital ending of the burner account T-Hawk 080672. Yep, there you go. That's a fictitious birthday. Yeah, because he was actually born in 63, so he was trying to pretend he was younger. And that's why he was dyeing his hair kind of brown and get rid of the gray. He probably used Grecian formula, In addition, Google provided IP address information for the user's acceptance of terms of service, which revealed that terms of service were accepted on February 14 from IP address 24-184-7531. Significantly, records were obtained from Altus, doing business as Optimum, which is an internet service provider, indicating that the IP address at defendant Heuermann's home address. Oh, there you go. Yeah, so now it links the phone and everything to him. Moreover, based upon SCPD records for the official website gilgonews.com, a website maintained by the, and they put that website up for many reasons, and also to track various IP addresses and to check them out. So that means any of us, like I went there multiple times back then, they're probably like, ooh, this guy lives in Oregon, man. He moved as far away as possible. He's a psycho. Look at that. He's been there. Oh, wait, it's not him. Defendant Heuermann's home IP address was used on May 23rd, 2020 and July 2020. So it says right here, a website maintained by the SCPD to disperse news pertaining to this investigation. Defendant Heuermann's home IP address was used on May 23, 2020 and July 3, 2020 to access the official news concerning this investigation. But so have many of us, you know. But again, when you put it all together, records obtained from JetBlue also show that the same IP address was also utilized to book flights for defendant Heuermann and his wife in 2018. When analyzing the usage of all devices and accounts used by defendant Heuermann, there appears to be a clear pattern wherein Heuermann used burner phones and burner junk email addresses to 1. Contact sex workers and sex partners, to conduct extensive, well, they use the word sex workers too, right? To conduct extensive searches related to sex and prostitution, violent, sadistic, and child pornography, and 3. Seek online information about the authorities investigating his crimes. These burner cell phones and email accounts with fictitious identities were used in an effort to conceal Heuermann's true identity, conceal his criminal activity, unlawfully proposition sex workers, and attempt to monitor the investigation of his crimes. DNA analysis of hairs recovered from the examination of the victims' bodies. During the course of the investigation, each of the 4 victims' bodies were examined by forensic scientists with the Suffolk County Crime Laboratory. Miss Brainard Barnes had been left restrained by 3 leather belts, one of which was utilized to tie Barnes' feet, ankles, legs together. During the examination of the belts, a female human hair was recovered from the buckle of one of the belts by Suffolk County Crime Lab, hereinafter female hair on Barnes. On or about December 18, 2010, the Suffolk County Laboratory this hair and was able to determine that it corresponded to a Caucasian head hair fragment. Although this hair was not suitable for nuclear DNA profiling at the time, it was subsequently submitted for further DNA analysis. Megan Waterman had been bound by clear or white duct tape. So I think that's where she's a little different up here. She was bound by belts, and that was 2000. Well, yeah, it's around the same time period. So Megan Waterman had been bound by clear or white duct tape. During the course of the examination of Miss Waterman's body, 2 female human hairs were recovered, one from outside the head area and the other from the tape of the head area. Both hairs were recovered in the vicinity of Miss Waterman's head, hereinafter 2 female hairs on Waterman. Examination by the Suffolk County Laboratory indicated that the 2 female hairs on Waterman exhibited Caucasian European characteristics, but were unsuitable for further DNA testing at that time. But now it is. So, the 2 female hairs on Waterman were subsequently submitted for further DNA analysis. An examination of the body of Miss Amber Costello. Just a second. Is this tonight or that was today? Thank you to Nick and thank you so much, Mag. You're always so generous, and Peggy on PayPal. Thank you guys very much. Crystal, aka Beaver Gaming, sent me a definition of sex workers. I know what it means. I'm not the one that's confused. I know exactly what it is. Anyways, an examination of the body of Miss Amber Costello revealed that she appeared to have been bound by 3 pieces of clear white duct tape again. During the course... What's clear white duct tape, by the way? Isn't that just like packaging tape? During the course... clear white. I've never seen that before. During the course of the examination of Miss Costello's body, a female human hair was recovered, specifically on a piece of tape inside the burlapped wrapping in the vicinity of Miss Costello's head. Hereinafter, female hair on Costello. A subsequent examination of the female hair on Costello led to the determination that it had Caucasian European characteristics. However, it was unsuitable for further DNA testing at that time by the Suffolk County Crime Laboratory. The female hair on Costello was subsequently submitted for DNA analysis. As noted above, the female hair on Barnes, 2 female hairs are on Waterman, and female hair on Costello. Collectively, the female hair recovered on the 3 victims were all sent to an outside forensic laboratory. Hereinafter, Forensic Laboratory Number 1. Forensic Laboratory Number 1 applies DNA techniques and direct genome sequencing in difficult-to-solve forensic casework and the identification of human remains. In or about July 2022, Forensic Laboratory Number 1 was able to determine that each of the aforementioned female hairs recovered on the 3 victims each belonged to a female individual in mitochondrial haplogroup K1C2, and that this female was not any of the victims. On or about July 21st, 2022, an undercover SCPD detective recovered 11 bottles from a trash receptacle that had been left out for collection in front of the residence of defendant Rex A. Heuermann. There. Might as well go check it out. See if we can see the trash bin. Maybe that's a leaf container. I don't know. Can't tell what that is, but I think I'm on the wrong. Where am I right here? Hold on. Yeah, that's this. Is this the right house here? Maybe it's on the other side of the road. I think he's on the other side of the road here. I think I had the pin in the wrong place. I think he's right there. That's right. I was thinking I wasn't even looking at the right house. Yeah, I don't see the trash thing here. Not sure why that's there, but no, that's right. That other address listed to him too over here. So I don't know if he bought that at one point across the street, but they might want to check that out. Now that I think about it, because if he lived here or did something over here, who the hell knows what happened over here. Hold on, let me go check Ben Verified out again. Hold on. There's only got to be one. Yeah, Rex Heuermann. Rex A. Heuermann. Address history. Yeah. So look at this. You've got 105. Ah, crap. So this is an address listed for him right here. That's that one. You can see the red for that. That's the house that we've already got. And then there's this one. Also in this town. And look at that. It's the house across the street. Oh, man. What's going on with that, you guys? That's what I was wondering, why I had that other pin. Then I sort of remembered that. But don't you think that's a little weird? That house is listed as one of the addresses for him? Okay, well, who knows, man? Maybe he bought that one up Because remember how he does buy the properties and so forth. So what if he bought that? And I'd like to know more about that for sure. I'll tell you that. On or about July 21st, 2022, an undercover SCPD detective recovered 11 bottles from a trash receptacle that had been left out for collection in front of the residence of defendant Rex A. Heuermann. The Suffolk County Crime Laboratory took swabs of said bottles, which were subsequently sent to Forensic Laboratory Number 1 for DNA profiling. Based on these new submissions, on or about February 24, 2023, Forensic Laboratory Number 1 was able to conclude that one of the DNA profiles generated from the aforementioned bottles taken from defendant Heuermann's residence indicated a female individual belonging to mitochondrial haplogroup K1C2, just like the hairs, which is the same mitochondrial haplogroup as the female hairs recovered from the 3 victims. This profile was then compared against the previously tested female hair sample recovered on the remains of Miss Megan Waterman, which included that the two belonged to the same individual or someone closely related. Based upon the investigation and evidence recovered to date, that female is believed to be the wife of defendant Heuermann. On or about March 23, 2023, the Suffolk County Crime Laboratory requested Forensic Laboratory Number 2, a lab specializing in forensic mitochondrial analysis, to conduct additional independent analysis. On or about June 12, 2023, Forensic Laboratory Number 2 issued a report including that the DNA sample, so they went to multiple labs to see if they get the same result, from the female recovered from the bottles outside the residence of defendant Heuermann, and the female hair on Costello indicated that the mitochondrial DNA are the same at all compared positions common to and between samples, specifically at a rate that would, as per the EMPOP database, exclude 99.98% of North American population. Forensic Laboratory Number 2 then compared the profile associated with the DNA sample from Heuermann's wife to one of the 2 aforementioned female hairs recovered. I think they need to take one of her hairs and get done what we did on the Allatoona Lake case and get that actually sequenced and put into a forensic genetic genealogy database, but do it blind and see if it lands on her, it's just game over. This is not quite that same level because it's 99.98, which is like 2 in 10,000, which, I mean, New York has, 50 million, I mean, I don't even know how many people, they have like 30, 40, 50 million people living there. So that would mean quite a few people might have that. You got to do it where it's mathematically almost impossible. Specifically at a rate that would, as per, so this side one's 99.69. Based on the foregoing, while 99.98 of the North American population can be excluded from the female hair on Costello, and 99.69 of the North American population are excluded from the female hair on Waterman, it is significant that RH's wife cannot be excluded from either the female hairs recovered on the remains of Megan Waterman and Amber Costello. A previously noted defendant, Heuermann's wife, was out of state at the time of Miss Waterman and Miss Costello's disappearance and murders. See? As such, it's likely that the burlap tape, vehicles, or other instrumentalities utilized in furtherance of these murders came from the defendant Heuermann's residence, where his wife also resides, or was transferred from his clothing. I think they were taken to his house. During the initial examination of Miss Waterman's skeletal remains and the burlap materials, the Suffolk County Crime Laboratory was also able to recover a male hair from the bottom of the burlap used to wrap Miss Waterman by her killer. An initial examination of said hair revealed Caucasian European characteristics. However, the hair was unsuitable for further DNA analysis at that time by Suffolk County Crime Laboratory. This hair was subsequently submitted for further DNA analysis And on or about July 31st, 2020, Forensic Laboratory Number 1 was able to generate a DNA profile for the hair recovered on the bottom of Waterman's burlap. Specifically, Forensic Laboratory Number 1 determined that this hair belonged to a male in mitochondrial haplogroup V7A. Following the discovery of the Chevrolet Avalanche, which was registered to defendant Heuermann, and the investigation of cellular billing records and other items, on or about January 26, 2023, a surveillance team observed and recovered a pizza box. So he's got V7A here. Haplogroup V7A. And up here, his wife was... I can't remember those weird numbers like that. The hell was it? Yeah, K1C2. Yeah, so this is going to be good right here, I can tell you. This hair subsequently submitted for further DNA analysis, and that one it turned up to that profile haplogroup was V7A. Following the discovery of the Chevrolet Avalanche, which was registered to defendant Heuermann, and the investigation of cellular billing records and other items on or about January 26, 2023, a surveillance team observed and recovered a pizza box thrown by defendant Rex A. Heuermann into a garbage can located in front of 385 Fifth Avenue in Manhattan. Isn't that crazy? They actually have the picture of it. And there's the pizza. He scarfed that whole thing down. That's not hard to do, though. It's not hard to do. The pizza box was sent to Suffolk County Crime Laboratory for analysis, where a swab was taken from the leftover pizza crust. On or about March 23, 2023, the Suffolk County Crime Laboratory sent the swab from the pizza crust, abandoned by the defendant, Heuermann. So we're going to... here's what I'm predicting. We're going to have haplogroup V7A, and that means you have both hair samples found on the victims represent exactly what Heuermann and his wife have. You see how absolutely damning that is? Yeah. That's what my guess is going to be here. On or about April 28, 2023, a detective hand-delivered from Forensic Laboratory Number 1 a portion of male hair on Waterman to Forensic Laboratory Number 2 for testing. So they're just verifying this. We had somebody the other day, or just yesterday, somebody claimed to be that person, but it sounded like they were freaking
I want to
ghoul.
hear from someone who paid for services and didn't get killed. There must be a few.
Yeah, there's got to be some. Well, I think one came on the other day and said something like that. Wasn't that yesterday? I don't remember. Specifically at a rate that would, as per the EMPOP database, exclude... Okay, so hair on Waterman and the swab from pizza crust that the mitochondrial DNA profiles are the same. Specifically at a rate that would, as per the EMPOP database, exclude 99.96%. So when you have one profile that's 99.98 and the other one is 99.96, together those odds are astronomical that they happen to be in the same household. Waterman, it is significant that defendant Heuermann cannot be excluded from the male hair recovered near the bottom of the burlap utilized to restrain and transport Megan Waterman's naked and deceased body. Arrest and search of Heuermann, his residence, and other locations. On or about the evening of July 13, 2023, defendant Rex A. Heuermann was arrested by Suffolk County police officers. Hey, thanks, Renee. Who's the bigger dum-dum? Brian Koberger for the knife sheath or Rex H for the pizza? I think Koberger's dumber. Yeah. This guy here was really
Brian came for the knife sheath or Rex.
I mean, they didn't catch him for 12 or 13 years, or longer, really. I mean, so they got kind of lucky in this case. They had that really good information on the cell data stuff, but I think it's let's see, who was that one? Yeah, Costello. Her case is the Libby camera. The one piece of like, okay, that's amazing. He shows up there earlier in the evening, and he's a victim of a ruse where the money that he gave to the sex worker, which was Costello, the boyfriend shows up. Hey, what are you doing here? And he runs out, but he does contact her later and says, hey, am I going to get, I need to get a freebie out of this thing. I need to be, do I get credit type of thing. Then the next day he starts talking to her again, and he says, but I'm not going to go to your place. So basically the ruse is what ended up killing Costello. So then he goes back again, but he picks her up down the street, and he takes her to his place. And that's when he killed her and then put her on Gilgo Beach over there. Pretty sick, huh? It's got to be out there, though, Caligal 3. More. I mean, you think soon, but a lot of people don't want to admit what they're doing either, so they might not come forward to say, hey, yeah, I was one of the... Because let's say they've moved on from being a sex worker. He liked the younger one, so a lot of people do something else later. And so they might not... They're probably talking to detectives, but wouldn't want to really be out in the public talking about it. Some of them maybe got married later, have kids, and kind of want to keep that part of their life not out in the open. Yeah, he had like 200 and something guns. And he seemed like somebody just absolutely not a gun person. Arrest and search. So, on about evening of July 13, 2023, defendant Rex Heuermann was arrested by Suffolk County police officers. Search of his residence as well as other locations are currently ongoing. At the time of his arrest, defendant Heuermann had on his person the burner cell phone 347-304-2671, which was linked to the T-Hawk email account used to conduct the online searches described above. Yeah, so anyways, that's it, you guys. We did it again, and man, that was way more. We'll probably have to do it again in a few months, but that was absolutely, man. Every single one of the people that he communicated with, his phone is like at his house. Then he meets them in New York, and then he brings them back over to his place. Every one of them. So what do you guys think of that? For those who stayed around and listened, did it make sense? Why did you delete the Bonanza Pizza is good comment? Was he the driver? If not, who are you talking about? Aurora? I don't even know what you're even saying at this point. He's everything evil. He should have done to him what he... Yeah, that's right. I think he should be put in prison, and whatever he did to people, they do the same thing to him. Like that would be the best way to conduct the death penalty in the United States, is to do to the person what they did to somebody, right? Because then I think they would be, at least if they're going to kill, it would be more humane. It would be, the killer themselves, because then they think, well, shit, if I get caught, I don't want to have to. But I think it would make probably keep a lot of people from doing anything. Like, for example, this guy that we're doing the trial on, he stabbed his girlfriend 27 times and then stabbed an 18-month-old child in the neck. Killed it. So, couldn't you just have the same thing happen to you? I mean, we've said the same. I've said this on the show multiple times, but yeah. And I think like the family members, somebody in the family should be allowed to exact the revenge, because that's what it is. It's societal's revenge on psychos. All right, you guys. Well, thank you very much for being here tonight. I'm going to leave now. It's 2 hours and 57 minutes. We got through it all. Anyways, it says Dobby Smith, Mag, Poison Sushi, A Wrinkle in Crime. That's a pretty cool name. Lori Fisher, Allie 79, Annabelle Stealth, Michelle Blake, Renee H, Tammy Morell, Jason, something like Freer, Don, Tammy Morell, Stephen Bug Killer 1, Ben Hills, Just Junie, Ben Hills, Ozzy Trisha, Still Got Nothing, Cindy, Texas Annie, Alley Cake, Jean Darcy, Alley 79, Dreaming of Blue Skies and Sandy Beaches, Ozzy Trisha, Still Got Nothing, Maury H, Just Junie, American Lady, Wendy Peppercorn, Ozzy Trisha, Still Got Nothing, Eugenie, Angelina Dawn, Maury H, Tammy Morell, Jesus. Claudia Neubauer, Dreaming of Blue Skies and Sandy Beaches, Gwendolyn B, Maury A, American Lady, Marlene, Caligal 3, Cheryl, Gwendolyn B, Marlene, C-Map, Steve, Eugenie, Tammy Morell, Caligal 3, Metalman Joe 59, Miss Smith, the new member, Caligal 3, and Renee. I think that's the first night in a long time we didn't have one cat eye donation, but it was still, it's pretty cool, the number of people. And then we got from earlier today, Plato on PayPal, and Peggy, and wait, is this today? Yeah, then Crystal, thank you very much. And then also it was Nick and Mag. Thank you guys so much. Very generous out there. Appreciate it. Peace. Yeah. Well, thank you guys. That was awesome. Maybe I'll do, where's the Manhattan over here? Maybe I'll do a flyby in here. There we go. I wonder if that'll work. Try to fly around in the city over here. All right. Well, thank you for being here. We'll see you guys tomorrow, everybody. And thank you all again for everybody supporting the channel. I appreciate it. And who knows what tomorrow will be doing. Just don't know. All right. So thank you for being here. We'll see you tomorrow. And as I always say, until next time, be safe out there. And a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4.
Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now.
Hey, Greg, can we do a
I've been doing this
flyby?
whole time. I
Yes,
have not
Mary
seen
Lou,
one
we're
person.
gonna do a flyby.
That is a
Okay,
trend
James.
dissector, thug rejector. I'm a certified human lie detector. I'm gonna get ya on a stretcher if you try
Good
and
for
play me
you,
like
Mark.
an old projector.
Keep
Crime
on drinking,
sector
buddy.
is my nectar. Professor Radio's gonna give another lecture. Crime collector,
Thanks,
freak
Wild Pete.
connector, and I'm always gonna be a pup protector. Fool deflector, interceptor, and I'm
Neil
Neil
Dennis
Dennis
with
with a
a
vector
vector.
on his pector. With all respect, y'all.
Just remember I've a temple fucking check-cha. I have no agenda, I'm no pretender, and I'll serve it to you straight without the blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal the true offender. Yeah, so I'll just get right back to work. All right, everybody? Talk to you.
Whoa, Gray, look at that! It's New York! MetLife building! So cool!
Yeah. I was seeing somebody comment about I haven't been doing it's too hard to do this. Like during the show, every time somebody would send in super chats, I had to grab their name, put it over on something. So I'm trying to figure out a way where I can automatically grab them later. But I've been giving away memberships instead. But I don't know. I'd like to, and plus I'm almost out of the notebooks. So I'm trying to get it where there's a few left to buy. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to do it. It's hard to keep like all that time I was doing it, it was like I had to stop the show every single time to grab it and put it into a list. So it doesn't seem to like have an effect on anything either. But, I could try to do it again. I just got to figure out a different way to do it. It's got to be automatically stored somewhere where I don't have to, like, remember whose name was who. Or Yep, Chloe Notebook is next. That's right. But anyways, thank you guys for being here. We'll see you tomorrow. And again, as I always say, until next time, be safe out there. Oh, and by the way, plus last year I gave away $5,000 something in notebooks, which, I think more of that should be going as part of the over 50%, I think. So, anyway, see you later.